Hey there, and welcome to the Gentle Beginnings podcast. I am Toby Deitch, childbirth educator, founder of Gentle Beginnings, and creator of the Brain Body Birth course. If you're pregnant, preparing for birth, navigating postpartum, or just figuring out life with a newborn, you're in the right place. There is so much information out there, and it can feel like a lot. My goal with this podcast is to make things feel a little simpler, to help you feel less overwhelmed, less stressed, and more confident in yourself and your choices. Think of this as a place where you can take a deep breath, learn something new, and walk away feeling a little more calm, prepared, and excited for what's ahead. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. Hi, and welcome back to the Gentle Beginnings podcast. My name is Toby Deitch, and today I am so honored to have my really good friend and also a student of the Brain Body Birth course, Malky, joining us to share her birth story. And I'm so grateful that she agreed to come on because there's something incredibly powerful about hearing real women share their experiences with birth. I know for myself personally, when I hear positive birth stories, especially during pregnancy, it really helps me tap into my own strength and reminds me that our body was created with so much wisdom. We not only have Malky joining us on this podcast, but we have her beautiful little boy as well. Hi. And if you're watching the podcast on video, you'll see him there, and he's so adorably cute. And he's here to share his story as well. So, Malky, welcome. I am so happy and I'm so grateful that you're here.
I'm also grateful to be here.
So let's go back to early pregnancy. What were you feeling emotionally? What were your thoughts and beliefs about birth? What were you hoping for? Tell me all about it.
That's tough. What was my hopes that should really happen this time? I was not happy. I was not excited. I mean, of course I was happy, but I was mostly terrified. Terrified. I was anxious. I couldn't breathe. I was so scared because I had a very terrible miscarriage before that. And I just didn't want to believe that this time it's going to happen. I didn't want to blow a balloon and then it's going to pop again. So I didn't want to get excited. And I was just waiting for the shoe to drop or every day. I was so scared. I was running every 10 minutes to the toilet to see if I'm bleeding already. Like it was not like wow, let's start counting the days and my 2 days then and imagining going with a stroller. It was like imagining seeing the blood and imagining the disappointment and thinking about how I'm going to recover from this. Already the mindset was already it's not going to happen. Because why should this night be different?
I think you were thinking about everything that can go wrong instead of everything that can go right.
Exactly.
And
because everything went wrong all the times before.
I think this is so relatable for a lot of mothers who have experienced loss in the past. And it's a very normal feeling to have. Just that fear and that hope that, is it going to stick this time? And not wanting to get your hopes up. And also because you don't want to be disappointed and you don't want to feel disappointed. And it's so real. And I appreciate you sharing that. So you were basically walking around waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting for something to go wrong. And what happened next? Was there a moment where you suddenly realized, okay, it's real and it's happening?
I don't think that even now I realize that it's real. Sometimes I ask myself, does this cute baby that I'm holding, is it really mine? Is it real this time? I during the pregnancy, the first few months, maybe until the fourth, something like that, it was just one big nightmare. Constant stress and anxiety, and I couldn't sleep, and I had to occupy myself with other stuff. So I should not be in my brain. I should not think. I'm just busy with doing everything else but think. And then I should simply you.
Oh, we met. We randomly met.
And it was so random that you can't say more Seattle Shmai than this. You can't. Because, like, what are the chances that to meet you in Cyprus? It was crazy. And even that the part that we sat together on the same table.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because you told me then that you were a birth instructor. And I was like 5 weeks then, 6, 7, something, but very, very early. And I didn't want to say them because I was still like, nah, it's not gonna happen. Why should I tell people? Um, so I just smiled. I'm like, okay, if it's going to hold, then I'm gonna go to her. I think I even told you that maybe one day I'm gonna be her client.
Yeah.
And then in middle of Yom Tov, I felt like I felt like I want to faint. I felt like that's it. I feel like I can't make it anymore. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my parents. I felt like I need to talk to someone or I'm going to burst. I felt like my fear and my stress is going it's going to create a miscarriage. Like just
Yeah.
like thinking about it. Um, and then I decided to talk to you. Um, and they were so calm and just I don't know how to explain it. Just like the vibe that I got from you was like, I'm here for you. And I don't know what you said. I don't remember, but it was just a feeling of like someone holding my hand and he gave me a few techniques of breathing. And that's when the journey started, basically. When I was starting to, the stress didn't stop there. It took a few months. And also, we didn't keep in touch, I think, then. Um, so, yeah. But it was the beginning. It was the first bloom.
I become emotional, like thinking back to that time. Like, I'm literally tearing up because, like you said, like God puts us like in places where we don't even know that we need to be. And I have it in my own life that sometimes I'm experiencing something and then someone is there and she has the perfect thing, like she has the right thing to say. And I know for myself, like it wasn't anything that I was saying, like really like Hashem, God was putting in those words that you need to hear. And I was just like the vessel that was like bringing it forth. And just like seeing this like full circle moment and watching you holding your baby right now and knowing what it took for you to get to this point is it's so special for me to like that I got to be a part of this journey. And I'm
Yes.
I don't have any words for that. So
Me neither. And I didn't even want to go there. I just went because I had to. And
yes.
that's the amazing part that from a place I didn't want to go, I met one of my good friends and the savior basically of my pregnancy.
You're putting me a little bit on a pedestal there, but I
No,
you know what?
I know that it might be too much and you're blushing already, but you saved my pregnancy. I mean, I was, it, I don't know, I would be totally different mother and a totally different person if we didn't.
Wow. You know what? I honestly don't have any words for that. I just, as much as you feel grateful that you met me, I also feel grateful that I met you because we really went on this wild journey together and I learned so much and you learned so much just from me, like being able to support you through that and then watching you become a mother and seeing how well you do it. Like you're literally like, you're just like in essence, like this is who you are. You're such a giving person and you're such a generous and grateful person. And
Same.
it's nice to see it. So we met, we got to talk, unconventional circumstances. We were away on vacation and out of the country and we met not in a conventional way at all. And then we started reconnecting once you were ready for a little bit of a deeper education. So tell me, how was that once you started learning a little bit more about birth and even facing the reality of, okay, this is going to happen to me and maybe starting to look forward to it a little bit or maybe that wasn't your experience. Maybe you were still dreading it a little bit. Give me the full picture.
I was looking forward to birth because I was looking forward to meet my baby. I was like, when I'm in a scene, I'm gonna know it's true. Um, that part, and I was still scared, but at some point after we started the classes and he gave me very good tips, um, it started to shift from fear and anxiety to anticipation and excitement. Yeah. One of the things that you taught me, I'm still using every day, is the rewiring our brain. So I would always think, yeah, the worst case scenario. And what you told me is that we're able to wire new um um um, um
The new pathways.
that we're able to wire new pathways in our brain. And so I started saying to myself, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, like over and over and over and over, or anything else, like it's going to be a healthy baby, it's going to be a healthy baby. Like multiple times I don't know if I can say it on a podcast, and I would sit on the toilet and I would, because I was like seeing like it's not happening. I was like, no, it's going to be healthy, it's going to be healthy.
The women that are listening in are real women, and they might be listening to your story and thinking, wow, this is me right now. Like, I am feeling stressed right now. And if Malky can do it, then I can do it too. And this tool can help her. And about the toilet, like, honestly, like the toilet is where everything happens when you prepare for birth. This is where you practice your breathing to push. And that is
Yeah.
you learn to relax your pelvic floor. And that is also the place where you can read your affirmations and do your visualizations, because let's be real, when you're pregnant, you go to the bathroom like 50% of the day. Like you're sitting in there. That's like your second.
Was there almost 80% of the day.
Yeah. It's a
Because
lot of time.
I was constantly going just to check that. No, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this.
Yeah. Just to make sure that everything's okay and that there's no bleeding
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. So that rewiring I use on a daily basis. Even after he was born. I keep thinking, I don't know, like I'm not a good mother. Or what's gonna be when he grows up, or even smaller things like and I would remember, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be good, it's going to be good, it's going to be good. And I'm happy that today it takes me much faster to go to that place of telling myself that it's going to be good than before. Like it in a split of a second, I'm like going to the it's going to be good instead of like sitting and model to my dark thoughts.
Yeah. And for some people, they might hear and they'll be like, but what good does it do for me to go to a better place when maybe something will go wrong, right? We're not God. We don't know. But I always say, like, you're never going to regret thinking positive thoughts. And sometimes we sort of set ourselves up for the worst case scenario because we don't want to feel disappointed. We want to somehow be prepared. But instead of, you know, dealing with this catastrophe once, we're going through the catastrophe twice. And chances are everything will be okay. And chances are that you'll be good and you are a good mother, and you might as well enjoy your pregnancy more. You might as well enjoy motherhood more and get all of those good hormones like oxytocin rather than adrenaline and cortisol and stress. So besides for the mental prep and, practicing rewiring your neural pathways, was there anything else that you did to prepare for birth? Any physical things that you found were helpful in pregnancy? Any exercises, any special foods that you were eating, any, nutritional tips or things that you were doing in pregnancy besides for the mental preparation?
So I was doing some exercises. I was doing physical therapy, uh, and I tried to listen to the tracks. So another thing that I did, I was eating very, very healthy. And that's another thing that I took from you. I don't know if I was just by your house once, and I saw you give me like to try protein cookies,
Yeah.
those cookies, and that was also beginning of a journey, because then I started to go into um more of a healthy cooking and baking, and I changed my entire household, because today I don't put in my house sugar and seed oils and all those processed foods. look really clean. And so thank you for that too.
I love to hear
So
it.
I was eating very, very, very good. Baked my own bagels and prepared cookies and snacks, and everything was very health minded, and it was amazing because also it was good. I had diabetes, so it was gestational diabetes, so it helped me a lot to be able to stay on the good.
It helps regulate your blood sugar and everything.
So it helped me to stay stable, and I didn't need insulin because my numbers were very good.
That's amazing. So you were eating healthy and you were starting to retrain your brain and maybe getting a little bit more excited and anticipating birth. And tell us about like what you chose for your birth options. There are many options when we look at birth, and some people choose the hospital, some people choose a home birth, some people choose a birth center. What was that journey like for you? What aligned with your values and what did you want for your birth?
So I always knew, even before I got pregnant, like from the first moment I knew about birth, I knew that I wanted to do a natural birth, a home birth, in that department, like not a hospital. But I didn't know my options. I didn't know if it's possible. And then I started when I got pregnant, and then after a few months, where I started thinking, okay, let's start prepare because it seems like it's going to happen. Um, I started to look around and see my options. So I met with a few places, some that like midwives that do home birth, and I also went to the Yeti Angles Birthing Center. It's very famous. And then I compromised in between. I wanted to do home birth. My husband was very, let's say, scared about it. So we compromised on somewhere in between. The birthing center is like a home birth. It's natural. It's a calm environment, but it's still, more supervised under like a controlled environment. There's a hospital across the street. So we gave like a peace of mind that, the hospital is there just in case. And it was the best decision I could ever make.
Oh,
Like today, if you ask my husband again, he's like, he recommends to all his friends to go to the birthing center.
I
Like
love that.
yeah, I love that too because it was so against, like he's so against the natural and everything. He's like, by the book, vaccines, doctors, medication, you know, and I'm completely opposite. I come from a very natural home. We didn't take Motrin every time we got a headache. And to see him saying like recommend to his friend to go to a natural place, it's a win.
It's a win. For sure it's a win. I love
Um,
that.
it also shows how amazing the experience there is that it managed to change his mind about it. And
Yes.
it is. They give such a VIP treatment to everyone. Like I felt the only lady there. Like every appointment, it was my time. They were there for me. It was not like they just care about baby. Okay, let's hear the heartbeat. Okay, amazing. See you next week. It was not like that. It was like, how are you doing? How is your well-being? Um, and then the last thing in the appointment was the heartbeat. Like, we are here for you and your baby. And in regular practices, it's just like you come, you're the baby, you go. That's it.
Yeah.
So I recommend. Yeah, I really
Shout out,
recommend
shout
going
out
there.
to BSD Birthing Center in Muncie. You can all look them up on Google, and I know
And
they're
it's
amazing.
gorgeous.
And it's
Really
beautiful. It
gorgeous.
really is a beautiful place. Many of my clients have given birth there, and all of them, come back with such beautiful like stories and experiences. Of course, everyone's birth varies, but just what remains with a woman after birth is not only about how the birth went, but how she was treated and how she was like made to feel in that experience. Now, did you choose to hire a doula? Did you want to go on your own? Do you want to touch on that?
I had a doula from almost week 0. It was the first thing I did basically. I think it was 8 weeks. And I kept searching on Google, what does this mean? And if I'm not So I didn't feel nauseous. I felt amazing. So instead of like being grateful about it, I was like, why am I not feeling nauseous? Like maybe something is wrong. So I went to Google. If I don't like everything that I felt or didn't, I searched online, and it's the wrong thing to do. Like never ever search something on Google. Like, is it? Because it's always going to answer you something scary. And it's also by the way you ask it. If you ask Google, is this and this and this not good? It's going to say yes. Because it's the way you ask it that they answer. So you're
Correct.
going to ask if this and this, and if you can ask the same thing, let's say, is the not feeling your baby good? And they're going to say yes. And if you can ask it in a different way, is not feeling the baby bad? They're going to say yes. It's only the way of
Good.
phrasing the question. So, of course, I was phrasing it on this scary way, like, I don't do this and this and this. So, what's going to be? So, I got very scary answers, and that even intensified my fear and my anxiety. So, like, I need someone to ask, I need someone to guide me. And so then I said, like, I need a doula. So then I got a very good recommendation on a doula. Her name is Starny, and she's amazing. Basically, when I had the baby, she told me that she feels like she had a baby because we were together from week 8, and she went every step with me.
Yes.
We were in contact like on almost a daily basis. So she felt like she's having the baby.
Wow.
She's really, really good, and I could ask her anything, like in the middle of the night. I don't feel movement. What should I do? Uh, everything. And she would like first ground me, like everything's okay and don't stress, and then like what you can do, like try to drink juice or try to do that. Um, so she
Shout
was
out to
very good.
Charney. Charney is amazing.
She's amazing. And also later in the pregnancy, like right before, like she started, I think from week 36, maybe a little later, she started doing giving me how it's called.
Oh, she was doing the acupressure and reflexology on you.
Yeah, she started doing acupressure, and that was really helpful too, because we wanted to induce labor naturally the fastest we could. Because the midwife, she said that if I want to do it naturally in the birthing center, they gave me up until my due date. Because in the end, at the 9th month, my numbers of the sugar started to be a little higher, and they didn't like it. So they wanted to get out the baby faster. But because I was in a birthing center, not by a doctor, they still gave me the option to go naturally, but they gave me the deadline of the due date. If after that doesn't happen, then we're gonna need to go to the hospital for induction. So I did really, really didn't want that. And so we did everything we could. I drank the smoothies with castor oil, and I did the walking and the jumping and the reflexology, everything that you can imagine, everything that YouTube, TikTok, Instagram has to offer. I did it all.
I just want to make a disclaimer that when it comes to castor oil, never do it without your midwife's.
My midwife gave me the recipe and instructions,
Yes,
so I was
because
not
we
doing it
have
on
to
my
be
own
really
mind.
careful.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of like information, and not to derail this conversation, I just want to make a quick point because people are going to hear and be like, oh, castor oil worked for Malky, I should try it. Yeah. You have to be really careful with castor oil because it is a form of induction. So it has to be done under strict, oversight from your midwife or your doctor. So, don't DIY this, but definitely the rest, the acupressure, reflexology, and all of that, is something that, you might as well.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back? But I guess everything together is what brought the labor eventually. And
then labor started happening. And
even the day that it started, I still remember it. It's crazy. It's almost a year passed by, and that's another crazy part that I can't believe that a year went by so fast. I can still feel myself at that moment. I had a lot of days before that I had contractions, and I was like, okay, this is it. It's happening. And even once it was like the overnight I was having contractions. So I'm like, okay, this time it is. And every time it stopped. So I decided like next time I'm getting contractions, I don't even think about it. I let it go. So it was Monday and I took the castor smoothie then, according to the instructions that my midwife gave me. And I was like, okay, that's it. I did it and I'm not thinking about it. It was very hard because I knew that Wednesday is my deadline. I already had the nocture schedules for Wednesday, 8 o'clock. And it was hanging on top of me,
Pressure.
this pressure of like, get it out. Like I was talking to the baby, like, God, please, I'm begging you. I don't want to go to the hospital. Like on top of the fear of the pregnancy and baby and everything was the hospital. I don't know. I just like the experience, the stories that I hear about hospital and like the way that they treat you. And I was also so cuddled throughout the pregnancy by the midwives that going to hospital then and being with like tons of nurses and doctors changing the shifts and everything that I just didn't want that. And so I back to that Monday, I took the smoothie and then we decided my mother was coming from Israel. And she was supposed to arrive Tuesday. So I told mother, just let's go shopping. Let's stock up the house. We have guests coming. My sister was also coming from Manchester and we need food. So we went to grocery and I remember we were just going by the aisles and then I started feeling contractions, but it was very like, okay. So I was like, I told myself, it's nothing. It's just like last time, just like last time. And as the time goes on and every item goes into the cart, I feel getting stronger and stronger. And I started to use the cart as the support. I was like holding on and like breathing in and out. And I still didn't want to think about it because, I was there already and I don't want to get excited and disappointed again. Uh, and did some more errands. And when we went to the car, I could not sit down already. So I was just like, no, like, let's call the midwife and see maybe yesterday. So I called her and she's like, you know what? If you're close, come by. Let's chat. Let's see. And so we went into the birthing center and Yeti was there and she's like, Malky, you're having the baby today. It's today. And I kept asking, I kept asking her like 10 times, you sure it's really coming? It's really coming. And I could not believe that. I think that's when I started to realize that it's really happening. Like I'm really going to have a baby. And so we got a room prepared and Miles not to run back home because we had all the groceries from that. So we went home, unpacked, came back fast with our suitcase and everything. By the time we arrived back, I was ready in the room and my doula was already there. And basically that's when the journey started.
Wow. It feels like it's happening right now. The way you're saying it it's
It does. I keep seeing pictures running through my mind, like every moment of it, the shower and everything.
so you're there and they're telling you it's actually happening and it's hitting you like, I am having a baby. Like it's I am going to be a mother. And I'm sure it's a lot of emotions that you're feeling in the moment. Plus you're having all of these labor hormones coursing through your bloodstream. And it's a lot going on. Your doula is there to support you. How is labor progressing? How are you feeling through it? And give us the wild, the real, the raw details. How was that experience for you?
So in the beginning, it was very chilled, and I was so like the queen of this labor, and I'm going to rock it. And I don't know if you remember, but when we were sitting by the classes, I always said like, labor is not painful. Labor is not painful. It's just the way you think. It's the way you phrase it, and I'm not gonna feel a thing. And it's just it's just the way you think. Like if you think it's painful, it's gonna be painful. And I was so grateful that I was so, I would say, dumb. Just like that. Because at least I would relax my entire pregnancy that labor is not painful. But it is painful. But it's so worth it. At the end, it's worth it. But it's painful. I
Yes.
mean, what should we say? Um, but I had such a good support system around me that it was a manageable pain. And the fact is that I had my baby naturally, so I think that's the old evidence you need that it can happen, you can do it. But I did think a few times through labor that maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe we should just go across the street to the hospital. Um, So my doula did a very good job there. She gave me a lot of strength and she was doing all the pressure points to help me relieve the pain. And she was doing also standing under the shower. That's really, really helpful. And the beginning was progressing very, very slow. I remember the few good hours, just checking and I was still, 5. And I was so disappointed because I was sure, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, like all the stories, like you watch Instagram stories and you see like all this amazing birth stories, where the lady sits in the pool and she's quiet and you don't hear a sound, and so when the baby comes, I don't know, it's just
I think that social media has such a interesting way of portraying birth as something that seems like this magical thing that you just walk through a garden of roses and then you sneeze your baby out. But the reality is that birth is raw and primal, and sometimes it can be loud and sometimes it can feel bigger than you. But I love how you come back to this thing of having the support people around you to ground you and help you get back to yourself and stay in control somewhat.
birth is magical, but
Yeah.
magic has its own way for every person.
Correct.
Some people it's roses and quiet, and some people it screams and
there's no right or wrong. There's no wrong way to give birth. There's no.
It's just that it gives you the illusion when you see only that kind of stories. It gives you the illusion that that's how it is, but in reality, it can happen in a lot of different ways.
Correct.
But in the beginning, it was peaches and roses.
Right.
I was laughing, and I remember Charlie, my doula, she took a video of me. She's like, I have to send it to Toby. She's going to laugh, like I'm laughing through the contractions, and I felt so powerful and owning my body, and it was going great, but it was going very, very slow. And that's the thing that broke me eventually, that it was going so slow. So I didn't have any break in between contractions, nothing. It was constant contractions not from the beginning of the day, but it was since I got to the birthing center at 6 o'clock, it was constant contractions. And I got exhausted. I couldn't sit down. And I didn't have a moment to catch my breath. So having this after a few hours and hearing that it's still only on 5, I felt like
It's very
I
disheartening.
can't do it anymore. I lost track of time. So I didn't it possibly was only 2 hours, but for me it felt like eternity. Um, and that's where Charlie came in so good because she kept giving me the strength to go on. I told her at one point, I can't take it anymore. Let's go. We're going to the hospital. That's it. It was it was the breaking point. I wanted to take the laughing gas. That's the only. I guess that's the only form of pain uh, uh, control there at the birthing center. What China came in with the pressure points, with the breathing. What she told me, Malky, no one is transferring to the hospital for epidural. And that's what still there. No one is transferring to the hospital for epidural. And she didn't just say it. She actually gave me the energy to practice it, to do it. And I remember my husband, he's like, was going around, and he didn't know what to do. He just saw me at a vulnerable point, and he didn't know like what he can do to make it better. And just told him like just stand here, like just you're standing here is good for me.
Yes.
And Chinese also very good at this because she instructs the husband what to do. Because she sees, the man not know what to do with himself. She tells him this to that. And sometimes it can be very helpful because sometimes men get lost. They don't know what to do. And there's someone there to just tell them what to do.
She was able to guide him how to be the best support for you. And not only, I think it's so important as it's like with doulas, like not to take over the room, but let the husband stay the main character. Obviously, the mother is the main character, but as the husband should still feel like he's a part of the journey because he's a huge part of the journey. And they did the men, the husbands and the partners, they deserve a lot of credit as well. So to be able to bring them into the picture and help them to feel involved like that, it's a family-centered birth. It's not only, the mother's giving birth and then there's midwife and the doula. No, there's a father too. I think that's really important. So, and then what happened? You were deeply in labor, and then what was the moment where things started to shift and your baby was ultimately born?
So I think the point that everything started to go a little faster was deep in the middle of the night. So she checked me again and it was 9. She's like, okay, it's time for the bath. I was really excited because my dream was giving birth in the bath, in the water. I kept dreaming about it. Every time that I was scared, I was dreaming this moment. So I was really looking forward to it. And it did really help the water. It relieves the pain, it calms you down. And we started pushing there. So they told me to go out, and I think that's the point where I kind of lost it. It's I want to call it that way. And
So they
that's
asked you
also
to move out of the bath because you were having trouble pushing
so
in
I
there.
didn't know what was the why. Now I know because I spoke to the midwife after a few weeks. So I asked her what happened, and when I started processing all the labor and everything that happened a few weeks after the birth, that's when I was like, hey, why did I go out? I just remember being uncomfortable because doing a bed delivery was the last thing I wanted to do. Like a hospital delivery with whatever. So
Meaning you didn't want to be on the bed when you gave birth to your
no,
baby. You
yeah,
preferred being in the water.
yeah. So I just remember being like uncomfortable and not wanting to do it, but I was so weak already and exhausted that I didn't have the strength to stand up for myself and say that I don't want to. And from that moment, I just went along with everything they said. I was so weak already. So, like, I'm taking a pause now. If I look back to it, Mitzvah Hashem next time is what I know I want to work on to be strong enough, even at that moment, to still be able to say what I want. Like, like what are my wishes? I don't want to do this and that. Then and they kept telling me like, we see his head already and keep pushing, and like the joke in the house till today is push, 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 push. Every time that someone says push for no reason, like push the door, like push, 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 push. Yeah, and then is the greatest pain I've had in my life probably. And I don't want to alarm anyone, like I don't want ladies to listen to this and getting scared. Because that's the last thing that I wanted to hear when I was pregnant, that it's painful. But it's a matter of like seconds, and then the greatest relief I've ever had in my life. It's like it's amazing how you can go from 100 to 0 in seconds, literally seconds. And then it was on me. And uh, then when he cried, and my husband heard him cry, he broke down. I was in shock. I was in total shock, and I didn't know what happened. And he was crying so hard. And yeah, it was. I wish I had a recording of that moment of the crying. Um, and one of also the amazing things that they do when the baby's born, they give him to you, to the mother, and they walk out. Everyone walks out. The doula, the midwife, the nurse. They leave you with your baby, your husband. The first moments as family together alone, and it's so amazing those moments. Like no one's taking your baby away. No one checks. No one is rubbing him. Just you and your husband and your miracle, and it's the greatest moments that you can have after your baby's born. It's just the family, just you and your husband and your baby.
I can see you getting emotional here and tearing up, and it's such a, like you said, it's the greatest reward. And even though birth is difficult and birth takes everything out of you, I always say this to mothers, that the person you are walking into birth is not the person you are walking out, because you walk in as a woman. And for every baby, this happens again, but especially as a first-time mother, you walk in as a woman and you walk out as a mother. And birth requires you to tap into that part of yourself that you need to let go of all of that expectations and things that you are holding on to. And you have to just let go of that and surrender to it. And that's where, in the fire, that's where you find yourself as a mother. And that's where you become a new person. And then when your baby is born, you did everything. You gave yourself away for this child. And now it's like this story is beginning, and you're starting motherhood knowing that you are capable of doing hard things, knowing that you're strong and that you can stick up for your child, and you can move mountains and protect your child like a mama bear, and
Yeah.
and and I think it doesn't matter what type of birth. Every woman experiences birth differently. And one thing that's coming through from your story, and I think it's so powerful, is that there's no right or wrong way. There's no wrong way, but there's definitely no right to birth. And a positive birth isn't defined as this Instagram-worthy birth. A positive birth can be difficult, but it can feel rewarding, and it can feel afterwards like you did something great, and that you're so proud of yourself, and that you feel like if you could have done this, you can do anything in the world, right?
That's exactly. If you can do this, you can do everything. And it's the letting go that's, I think, the most important part that was hard for me. Because I'm a person that's hard for me to let go. So, and it's very important to just let go and, like you said, surrender to yourself. And maybe the magic happens.
Yes, let the magic happen. What a powerful story. Malky, thank you so much for sharing it with us. What would you tell a mother that's in your shoes right now? She's in the first trimester, or, early weeks in pregnancy, and she's really stressed out. Maybe she's experienced loss in the past. Maybe she's been waiting for a long time for this miracle to happen, and she's so nervous. What would you tell her?
To look at this, and it's all worth it. All the pain and the worry and the anxiety, and we should find ways to ease ourselves. But even if we fall, and even if we do feel anxious and scared, then it's okay. It's okay. And at the end, you just hug your baby, and everything's amazing.
Thank you so much.
I know it's not very wisdomy, or it's just the pure truth that feel right now.
There's a lot of wisdom in that. And, I once heard a saying, but if you want to do something and you're scared, do it scared. Do it afraid. Do it when it's ugly. Do it when you're sad, but just do it. And I think that applies to going through pregnancy when you're scared. Just do it scared. It's okay. It's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to feel anxious. And one day you're going to look back at this time, and it's going to teach you a lot, and it's going to make you a stronger person and a warrior of a mother, like Malky is.
So that's also one of the things that I took from the classes, is that it's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to feel anxious. I felt such a bad person for feeling scared. Like, how am I not grateful? Like, how am I not dancing from joy? And it will make me even more anxious, because I kept ruminating in the circle of, like, I'm a bad person, and then I'm scared, and then I'm afraid, and it kept going. And just the knowing that it's okay to be in that point. And then with what I learned, how to go out of that circle is a major thing for life. That in every situation, even today, like, yeah, I can one day be same patience with them, and never expect me as a person. Even though I waited a long time for him, even though he's my miracle, it doesn't mean that I have to be perfect.
Right.
And I can still sometimes feel that way, that I'm a bad person. And then to remember that it's okay. And it's one of the great tools that I learned in the class.
It's okay to not be okay.
It's okay. Exactly. That was the sentence you told me then. It's okay to not be okay. Yeah. And I even bought a jumper that says on it, it's okay to not be okay.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Wow, Malky, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and being so vulnerable with us. And I'm sure that there are so many other mothers that are listening to this, and they can resonate with it, and they can learn something from your story. And there's so many beautiful messages that I can take out of this. But one thing I just want to tell you is that you did it. You're a living testament to do it scared. And look at where you are right now. And look at this cute little chuck of a baby. He's almost turning 1, and it's
Yeah.
almost going to be his birthday. And he should just know what an incredible mommy he has. And I'm so grateful that you came on. So thank you. Of
And
course.
I hope that really our ladies can relate, and maybe one of them is sitting there in the toilet, and it's gonna help for it to go out of that dark spot.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming along and listening to this story from Malky, and I'll see you next week with another amazing episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you're looking for more support on your journey, I'd love to invite you to check out my Brain Body Birth course at gentlebeginnings.life/BBB. That's gentlebeginnings.life/BBB. I created this course because I saw so many women walking into birth feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and unsure of what to expect. Brain Body Birth is designed to change that. Inside, I guide you through the mindset tools, evidence-based education, practical birth preparation, advocacy skills, and postpartum planning that can help you feel calm, confident, and ready for whatever path your birth takes. My goal isn't to help you have one specific type of birth. It's to help you understand your options, trust yourself, and walk into birth feeling informed, empowered, and supported. It's the course I wish every mom had before welcoming her baby. And if you found this episode helpful, I'd be so grateful if you shared with a friend, sister, or a fellow mom who could use a little extra support. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and comment if your platform allows it. Those simple actions make a huge difference and help me reach more women with this information. Until next time, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and remember, you are capable. Your body is wise, and you deserve to feel supported every step of the way. And just a quick reminder that the information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to replace medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your healthcare provider regarding your specific situation and medical care. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.